I've got my coffee here. It's actually quite delicious. It's the Christmas blend. It's an Americano, by the way, with some milk, and then I put a drop of vanilla stevia and a drizzle of caramel to make it feel a little fancy. But yeah, decaf because I already actually had a cup of caffeinated coffee before I hit the gym, and I do see an energy drink in my future, so I figured let's go decaf. That's what I'm drinking. Grab yourself a drink and sit down, get a little cozy, and just listen to this and maybe have a journal too because I'm going to be writing. I'm obviously going to be dropping some good nuggets of wisdom because that's what I do every time I show up here. So get comfortable, guys. Speaking of comfortable, what did you guys do for New Year's Eve? I mean, drop it in the comments. Let me know what you did. I as 2023's theme continued for me, like it went out with a bang. 2023 was like, we're going to keep doing this. And as usual, nothing went according to plan. That was like my whole 2023. Nothing went according to the way I had planned 2023. And of course, it finished that way. So 2 months ago, maybe even more, I bought this dress. Like, this dress looks real good on me. Like, I'm talking, it looked fire on me. And about a month ago, I bought some shoes to go with it, and they're sparkly. I had a whole outfit, but I looked great in it. I ended up taking a picture of myself in it because I wanted to see what my outfit was going to look like, although I ended up having no plans. And some of this is on me. A large part of it is on me because I could have made plans, the plans that I wanted to do, but I never followed through with communicating with that person about those plans. And then I did have some other offers, but I did not take any of them. So that was on me, but I have a good reason. Like, I purposely did not want to go out and do anything that could be portrayed as a date because that's just not the stage that I'm in right now. I'm not saying I'm not dating, I'm just saying that I am very, very purposeful about what I do, and I didn't want to go do anything with anyone, letting them think that we could be on a date, letting them think that I may be interested in them when probably not. So that was my choice, and I'm glad I stuck with my guns on that one. But that also meant that I had to turn down a lot of plans, and I ended up staying home. I did take my daughter out shopping earlier in the daytime, but for the evening, I ended up staying home. So I came home from shopping with her, put on my dress, put on my heels, took a picture, and I was like, damn, I look good. I look real good. This outfit is going to come out at some time. So probably going to be now a date outfit, but I looked so good in it. And then I slipped out of my dress and slipped into my favorite sweats, put on my hoodie, and drove myself to the store and bought myself some ice cream. So I felt real good about it, to be honest. I bought myself some Skinny Cow ice cream sandwiches because, like I said, I have started my 2024 goals already. Like, I started it pre 2024, and part of that is getting in shape. So I got the Skinny Cow ice creams. I'm not saying you can't indulge, but all I'm saying is the diet program I'm on, I chose that because I know that if I have that, then I can also have other things. And I chose to also have popcorn that night. So I had a little party by myself. My kids were home, but they're like basically teenagers and they cannot be bothered to hang out with me unless there is a benefit like shopping. Um, not not entirely true. My son will still hang out with me, but he's younger, so that's why. But they were busy doing their own thing. They were on the phone and on their gaming things, gaming with their friends. So yay for them. I found a movie, and this movie was like this is the way I should have closed out the year, and I'm really glad actually that it did go this way because I know I'm real late to this, but I found the movie Girls Trip, and I don't know why I've never seen this movie. It is right up my alley, but I think it's just because it's never been on a platform that I own, like the TV, know what I'm saying. And I was, scrolling through the platforms trying to find something to watch, but I saw that and I was like, Queen Latifah, check. Tiffany Haddish, hell yeah, that's my girl. So I was like, I'm already in. Like, let's be real, I'm in. As soon as I saw Tiffany, I was like, I'm in. Queen Latifah was the icing on the cake, and the other two, well, Jada, and I don't actually know the other girl's name. I just see her a lot in movies, but they honestly, let's just be real, they didn't make my list. It was the other two, but I watched this movie, and this movie had me rolling, like laugh out loud, rolling. I'm so glad I watched it because it was a great moment, to be honest. It was a really great moment with myself. But if you hopefully you've seen the movie and you're not late to the party like me. If you haven't, I'm going to spoil it for you. It just is what it is. But in the movie, one of the girls, she's in this marriage. She's been in this marriage for years, and they're well known, famous people. And turns out her husband had been having an affair. And her friends bring this picture of him with the other woman to her, and let her know. And then she's like, yeah, I know, like it was a past thing. um and they had worked it out, and he said he wasn't going to do it anymore, blah blah blah. And they were like, no, no, this was taken last night, this is current. And throughout the whole movie, her husband and her are like, they're in a place doing some publicity things, but the other female shows up. And so it's kind of like one of the many themes going on throughout the movie. But it is basically how this girl is faced with, does she confront her husband? Does she leave her husband? Or does she stay with him? And it goes down the road leading you to believe that she does ultimately. She does choose at one point to stay with him again because they can work it out. And it's really because of the deals that they're attaining from the two of them as a partnership. Like together, they're a brand basically. And it's ultimately, she's kind of disguising it like, if she stays with him, it is helping her also because she's got this man. They've built a brand together. They've known each other for like years, and they can just work through it. But, and she has this moment where she realizes it. She isn't happy. And she realizes that she's not happy, that she's doing this and it's sacrificing her real true happiness. And she comes to her senses. Long story short, she comes to her senses, tells the whole world what's up, leaves her husband, and ends up with the guy that she actually really does care for, and he cares for her, and blah blah blah. But my whole point of recapping this movie to you and talking about it in the first place is, I think that this is a very, very common thing for us to do, especially women. We sacrifice ourselves, our true happiness, for good enough. We tell ourselves that this is good, like this is good, I'm benefiting, in her case, I'm getting these great deals, like monetary deals. I'm talking like I'm getting this. And maybe we say something like, well, I have this family, or I have this home, and I get to stay home from, I get to be a stay-at-home mom. I get to have this, space that I want. And if you're truly happy, that's wonderful for you. But if you're not truly happy and you're justifying the trade-offs, then this is a problem. And I'm all for compromise. I do believe relationships involve compromise. And this is all types of relationships: romantic, friendship. Whenever I say relationships, I'm always talking about all types of relationships. Not everything has to be about a romantic partner or anything like that. This is also in friendships. This is in work relationships. This is in all relationships. We as humans need to do better at being able to have relationships with people and be able to be real in them. But oftentimes I find that in the relationships, we take the trade offs, and we say, this is good enough. This is me compromising. But are we really compromising if we aren't happy in the end with it? with the compromise that we have decided upon. I say no. I say you are actually sacrificing. And one thing that I am doing this year, and I encourage you to do, I invite you to do. I'm literally, this is your official invite. I don't have anything, but here's your official invite. It's in this notebook. You are invited to do this with me. You are invited to take this year and prioritize yourself. Because I promise you, when you prioritize yourself, everything else falls into line. When you prioritize yourself, the people who are meant to be in your life will be in your life. When you prioritize yourself, the people who are just there taking from you and they are not giving back to you are going to leave your life. When you prioritize yourself, you start getting those job promotions that you want. You start getting the job that you actually want because you're chasing. No, we're not going to say chasing, because you are pursuing the things that you want. When you prioritize yourself, you put out the message and the energy that you are number one. And that's not to say that homegirl over here or old boy over here is less than, not at all. But we are all in our own individual realities. Yes, we coexist with other people, but we do have our own realities. And we need to remember that what this girl over here is doing has absolutely nothing to do with you, because she is living her life. She is living her dream, hopefully. And same for this guy over here. He is living his life. He's doing his thing. And what these two people are doing has nothing to do with you, because these are their destinies. And you have your very own destiny. That means you need to be focusing on yourself. That means that what you're doing is not in competition with these people over here. That's why these people are irrelevant to what you are doing. So this year, let's prioritize ourselves above everything else. And before you think, that's so like conceited, or what about my family? What about my kids? Yeah, above that too. Because when you take care of yourself, you have the capacity in you to be able to take care of other people too. I cannot take care of my kids if I am constantly giving of myself, but never prioritizing myself to feed back into myself, to replenish my soul. There will come a time where I'm completely burnt out. I have gotten to that point. I have been in that point with my kids. I have been in that point in my previous marriage. I have to prioritize myself in order to be able to give to anyone else or to anything else. And the same goes for you. If you're on Instagram, you probably have also seen this new trend that started on New Year's Eve. Well, maybe it started before, I don't really know, but it really picked up New Year's Eve. And I personally can't stand it. It's this whole in out trend. And I know that some people who are doing it have really great intentions behind it. And it's like, the in is like, these are the in things. And it's like, these are the things. I don't read them because they annoy the ish out of me. But it's like the ins, it's pretty obvious. The ins are things that they're doing, the outs are the things that they are no longer doing. And I know I'm about to basically do the exact same thing, but I don't like calling it the ins and outs. And I definitely, this is why I don't like it, because it has this air about it. It's very like Mean Girl-esque in the sense like the Plastics Club. That's so in and that's so out. I don't like that, because that's somebody else telling me what is in and what is out. And I want to decide for myself what is in and what is out. And I know part of the trend is you do that for yourself. But when you go and post it and then you say, this is in and this is out, and you're not saying this is what's in and out for me, you're saying this is just it, like so declarative, then it comes across as this is the new standard. And one of the things that I am constantly fighting against is societal standards. I do not care for a single person to tell me what I should and should not be doing. I will decide that on my very own. And unless I ask for your opinion, keep it to yourself. So while I don't want to call this the ins and out sort of trend, I do want to talk about the things that I am choosing to do more of in 2024 and the things that I'm choosing to do less of. And I am not saying this to you for you to follow. I'm saying this to you to inspire you. I want you to go after you're done listening to this or watching this. I want you to go sit down, go to a cute little coffee shop, get yourself a cute little drink, and listen to some music and start writing down the things that you're going to do more of and the things that you're going to do less of. And all of it revolving around you, making yourself the priority in your life. And so again, these are not rules. These are not hard stops. These are not even things for you unless you decide they are for you. These are examples. These are my things, and they're here to inspire you. So on with the inspiration. The things that I am no longer doing in 2024. I am not doing things that please other people. And this is kind of like people pleasing, but I'm getting even more specific in the sense that I am not doing something that pleases another person, but gives me kind of like that ick feeling or makes me feel like I got the short end of the stick. If I don't feel happy with the compromise that we came up with, then am I really even winning? I have decided no. And this is something I have been working on for all of 2023, not in the sense that I'm not doing it, but it's something that has been coming to light, especially in the last 5 to 6 months, I'd say, is how I tend to compromise myself and justify, just like that girl in the movie, justify that, you know, well, I'm getting this, or I get to do that, or I'm spending time with this person. So it is a compromise, but really, am I winning? It's more that I was sacrificing my time, going places at times that I didn't really want to go there. Like I would much rather have gone earlier in the day than waited until in the evening till somebody could hang out. Or the way I spent my time. I would justify, yes, well, I get to be with this person and I enjoy my time with this person, but do I really enjoy just sitting around, not like actively living life at the same time? No, not really. Not really. There are moments for that, but it's a little different when it's an all the time thing. So I am no longer going to justify that, well, at least I get this, therefore this is good, and I'll do this for that person. If I'm not feeling happy with it, if my soul is not lit up, then I'm not doing it, because I have learned that many times people will take advantage of you and they will keep taking advantage of you because you are compromising. You're really just compromising yourself. And in the end, they are winning and you are losing. So no more. Another thing I am not doing is I am not letting people talk to me in a way that makes me feel belittled or less than. Kind of the same thing. This can very easily be just simple phrases. I had someone say something to me today, and I very easily could have brushed it off and just been like, oh, yeah, I was getting a little sassy, but I didn't like the comment. I did not like that it was said. I didn't feel that it was necessary because I felt like I had originally just answered their question and that was it. I didn't need to go into in-depth answers for. I gave them the answer that they asked for and moved on. And they kind of treated it like I had an attitude. And I called them out on it. Not in like a really rude way. I just kind of like made it known I didn't like it. And in the end, it worked out just fine. We had a quick little chit chat about it. Everything was resolved and we're good, which is wonderful. But we all know there are those people who just talk down to us. And I'm not going to allow that anymore. I'm not going to allow people to make small little comments because I feel that it's those small little comments that add up. And it's those, like, they kind of like chisel away at you, at your soul, little by little until you start to question, am I a bitch? Or am I mean? Or maybe I should just never speak my mind. Maybe I should just keep my opinions to myself. Because that's what happened to me throughout many of the last like 2 decades, basically. That is exactly what happened to me, to where I got to the point that I was like, I'm just going to stay silent. And then I got to the point where I was very frustrated because the inner me was like roaring to get out, because she was like, no, I've got things to say. I've got wisdom to share. I observe so much and I want to share my opinions too. I want to share the things that I have learned. And eventually I started working on myself and we're slowly getting better at that. But this is the year that I am not going to keep myself silent. Which brings me to the next thing that I am no longer doing. I'm no longer playing small. I am no longer, again, people pleasing. I'm no longer keeping myself silent because it makes other people feel more comfortable. I'm no longer dimming my light because I shine so bright that people are blinded. I am not going to play small anymore. I am going to show up. I'm going to say the things that I want to say. I'm going to follow my gut and do exactly what I think is the right thing to do in that time. Because if it's not, I'll deal with the consequence. But at least I know I tried. I feel that there is a lot of people out there who have really big ambitions, and I think collectively we are really feeling that this is the time to go. And we cannot go forward if we are playing small. It's just not possible. You have to be ready to say, I am here. I'm going to be here in all of my presence, and I'm going to play big. Welcome to the big leagues. And the last thing that I am definitely not doing this year or any year moving forward is chasing. I have this picture in my mind every time I think about chasing something. When you are chasing something, that implies that the thing that you are chasing is running away from you. You can't chase something that's coming at you. Then you're just going towards it. So I have decided I am no longer going to chase anything or anyone. If somebody wants to be in my life, they will come towards me. If something is meant to be in my life, it will come towards me, because everything that is meant to be in your life or a part of your life will be. It just is. It already is a part of your life. You're just moving towards it as it moves towards you. But we are not going to chase things anymore. If something's running away from us, let it go. Good riddance. Honestly, good riddance, because that creates so much stress. I think it triggers inner child wounds, which on one side it is great to address those wounds and to heal them. But you gotta stop, look at them, address them, and heal them, because if you're still chasing, I don't think you're quite healing. You might be in the healing process, which is cool, but at one point you gotta stop. So let's say now. I mean, this is me. Again, this is me. But if you feel inspired by this one, this can be you too. I think, though, it would do everyone wonders if we just stopped chasing things, stop chasing people, know your value, know your worth. And I think of this thing all the time. At my job, we have to park at one parking lot and shuttle the rest of the way to the hospital. And the shuttle schedule is non-existent. It's like this made-up thing where it comes approximately every 15 to 20 minutes, maybe 10 minutes here, maybe 9 minutes in the early morning. It is the weirdest schedule. And so when you see the shuttle, you'll want to be on that shuttle, or else you're going to be stuck in the rain, and that's not fun. However, I absolutely refuse to run for the shuttle. And every time I see that shuttle, I say, and if I'll walk to it, I'll walk quickly. I'm a fast walker. But I say to myself, I will not run to the shuttle. If that shuttle leaves before I get on it, that's fine, because I will not run to the shuttle. And I think it's the same approach we need to take with everything else. I will not run to that man. I will not run to that job or to that whatever. Fill in the blank. I don't really care. I am not going to be running after things that are actively walking away from me, actively driving away from me. No. Honestly, I think you kind of look foolish. And that's why I won't run for the shuttle. So I'm not going to be chasing things anymore. I'm going to allow the universe to bring things into my space, and I'm going to let things manifest into my life as they are meant to, and everything else can just go. So enough about what we're not doing. Let's talk about what we are doing, because I want a more positive mindset anyways. So we're going to end it on a high note, even though I feel real good about those things I'm letting go. What I am doing, I am investing in myself more. This looks like taking myself out on dates, even like solo coffee dates. That is taking myself out and investing in myself. I am going to, go to the art museum. There are so many things that I've seen and been like, oh, I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that, but I have no one to go with. And you know what? I'm going to do it by myself, because if I can do things by myself, imagine how much more fun they're going to be when I can do them with other people too. But first things first is invest in myself. I will be following my intuition more. Something that I have found that I do often is I go to somebody else to kind of feel out their opinions for a decision that I need to make. And I won't necessarily just be like, hey, what are your thoughts on this? Or I'm debating on this. Can we talk it out, just to help me kind of work through my thoughts? No, what I'll do is I'll like kind of like drop little bits. Yeah, so this happened today, and then wait for their feedback. I have found, one, I get frustrated because I do it and then I'm like, I don't even like their response. Why would they do that? I walk away annoyed because I know as soon as I walk away, I'm like, I gave my power away to somebody else. I am not listening to myself, to my intuition, which is telling me exactly what I should be doing, but I'm too busy not listening to it, too busy questioning my gut, my intuition, that instead of going within myself, I'm going without. I'm going outwards, asking other people. So I decided I'm not going to do that anymore. And yes, there's obviously going to be moments where it happens, but I'm being proactive about it. I am intentionally not saying certain things to certain people because I don't even want to hear their unsolicited opinion. I don't even want to hear or see their reaction. I don't want to see their facial reaction. I don't want any bit of influence from an outside source, so that I can solely rely on myself and force myself to listen to my own self. I'm also going to be speaking up more. In case you haven't noticed, I'm a little less filtered. I have things to say and I'm going to say them. I usually hold back and I do filter, and it's from the years of being in the church, from the years of being a pastor's wife, where I felt that I needed to filter myself, that I couldn't say certain things, and that I needed to be approachable. And there is use in those skills, but I think there is a difference of having them as skills and making it your entire identity. And that's not me. I have opinions and I have thoughts and I have controversial thoughts, and I'm gonna say them. I'm gonna call people out when I feel that they need to be called out, instead of letting them just do things that they should not be doing, treating me the way that they should not be treating me. And so I will be speaking up more. And then the last bit is like the big thing. I feel like this last bit is like the big wrap up of it all. And it is, I will be living my vision. Like I said, I am no longer chasing things, but I will be living the vision out that I have for myself and for my life, which means I'm going to be embodying that. I am that version right now. I am that successful woman right now. I am not going to be chasing after success. I'm going to be embodying that right now. I am going to be betting on myself, making the moves that I need to make in order to bring that vision into more clarity. But I am not chasing anything. I already am that which I seek. And so I invite you guys to make your own list. Create this list of how you're going to prioritize yourself more this year, because like I said, prioritize yourself and your life is going to transform. It is time that we understand that the number one most important person in our lives is us, because at the very end of the day, every single person, every single one of them, your mom, your dad, your spouse, your partner, your kids, every single one of them can leave your life. I'm not saying they will, but they can. And the only person you're going to have left is yourself. So make sure that you invest in yourself, that you prioritize yourself, that you get to know yourself, because you do not want to find yourself sitting somewhere all alone one day with nobody around and you can't even recognize the person staring back at you. Okay? So I'm going to finish this coffee and then I'm going to go off and do some fun things that I have planned for myself today. And I'm going to prioritize myself. Bye, guys.